Okay, so we're coming at you guys with a different type of video today. This is basically a 24-hour bag. I wouldn't call it a survival bag exactly, but you know, it's basically a little fanny pack, something you take hiking with you, and you know, so a small canteen for collecting and purifying water, a little clip to hook it onto the bag, and so inside the canteen, got a small spoon, and then you could put what is it? Those little fuel tablets. That's what they're called. Fuel tablet on top of this, and then you would burn it from there. So we get this set up, and then we can have our water boiling in there. Comes with a couple cups. This is a Stanley brand. It's pretty good. I like it. I've used it to make some tea before, and this, you know, as we saw in the last video, the live fire. So to kind of get this, you know, a fire started under it. You know, so something to just eat really quick. You probably want to take some dry food in a bag, let it soak, and then boil it, and you have food to eat. It's important to get your calories in. You have enough energy to survive. That all put out of the way. So now that's all answered. So let's see what we have in here. So I have the compass with the whistle here, so we can always know where north is, south, you know, whichever direction you want to head. You basically, the direction you want to go, you keep this kind of stable. So if I want to go straight north, I would just follow that arrow, and then as I'm turning it, it stays in that direction that I want to be heading. So you just check that periodically and make sure you're headed in the right direction. That's if you don't know how to read the sun. I just opened up on me. Okay. So inside the bag, the main compartment, I have a binoculars with a notepad and a small wooden pencil. So here we could use this as tinder if we had to start a fire. But mostly we're going to be taking notes on the direction we're heading, maybe just drawing birds, whatever, you know, things to occupy your brain while you're waiting to get help or trying to think of ways to get it, something to devise how to get help. Plus, you know, the binoculars are good for seeing those long distances. This is a survival bivy bag from Survive Outdoors Longer. Got that there. So it's this mylar type of material, the heat reflective. It's colored orange, so you can, you know, signal for help if you're lost. It's really small and compact. It's about the size of your fist. And this kind of follows along with what I call the 4 3s. So 3 hours without air, 3 minutes without air, 3 hours without shelter. So this is where this comes in. You want to regulate your body heat. 3 days without water, and then 3 weeks without food. So those are kind of your priorities right there. So if you can breathe, well, worry about regulating your body temperature, or what's going to happen. You know, where are you going to be when the sun falls or comes up? So these are important ideas to have in mind. So that's going to help keep you warm, and you know, it serves that dual purpose of being able to signal for help. So cordage is always something really important. It's always lightweight. You can help assemble your shelter with it. The thinner strands could be used for making traps. So if you see an area that's, you know, highly patrolled, or you know, highly trafficked with rabbits, you know, you can have survival food right there. Rabbit is edible. Just make sure the liver's not spotted, and then make sure the liver's healthy, because they can carry diseases, and that'll show in their liver. More cordage here at the paracord bracelet. So more than just a conversation starter, this little guy comes out here, and then you can scrape the rod to get some sparks to start a fire. You know, it's good to have 2 and 3 of some things, especially if they're lightweight. And you know, fire is so useful. It's nice to look at. It's going to keep you warm. It's going to cook your food. It's going to purify your water. Fire does 1,000 things. If you have one tool that makes fire, you can do 1,000 things with one tool. you know, it's just an idea here. So again, we've seen this before in one of the past videos. This is the Tonto pointed knife, you know, with the fire starter, the ferro rod on the side there. So you can use this to process food, to help create and build your shelter. A blade's always a very handy tool to have. You know, if you trap that rabbit, then you can use this to cut them up and, you know, into more sizable pieces to fit into here, boil it up, and then, you know, there's less chance of, you know, parasites and things harming you. Alright, so from there, I'm subscribed to a email, and they're called Survival Life, and they send, you know, a lot of offers and, you know, discounts on cool survival tools. So this was one of them that I got. I mean, most of them you just pay shipping, and they have a really cool online shop for survival gear anyway. And, you know, with the email, the newsletter, they're going to give you a lot of information. So, you know, it's always good to know more. So this is more of like a cutting edge, kind of a solid little thing. Bottle opener in case you stumble across a 6-pack. You know, survival beer. A knife, again, very useful. It's a smaller one. You don't always need a giant knife to do the job. Sometimes a small one will do the trick. And then at the end we have a little screwdriver. So, you know, you could disassemble things or build things with this. Let's go into the side compartment, or the small compartment. And so in here, this is our more fire, you know, and or these would be like these golf tees. They could be reused for, you know, spearing things, or, you know, you could light them up, whatever. We have our matches in there, and then the striker on the side. Then some of those out of there. Next thing we would have is this cotton ball right here. So, you know, you can always use cotton to start a fire. I think it's the easiest, especially with the ferro rod. I could do a video on that later. This is actually one of my favorite ways to start a fire. And we have the little rod here. So again, redundancy. I probably have 3 ferro rods in this case. You know, multiple ways to start fire. It's really important. A lighter, again, you know, it's just another way to start it. They're reliable, easy to carry, and you can't go wrong with having a big lighter. And then, so we're gonna go over a couple things that might not seem super important, but they're just gonna help. They're gonna make the experience a lot easier. So here, you know, chapstick, you can actually use it to kind of lubricate things, make them a little slippery if you have to, you know, especially like a trap. You want it to run smoothly. You're going to be dehydrating out there if you don't get enough water, so this kind of helps slow that process down. Gum, why would you need gum, right? But you know, it'll make you feel better just having fresher breath, you know. And to be more positive, the 2 types of stress are distress and eustress. Distress breaks you down mentally, it makes you tired. Eustress builds you up. It's the kind of stress that makes you move to get going. So having fresh minty breath sounds kind of stupid, but it'll get you going. Also, you chew this for a little bit, and then, you know, you can use it to attach things together, you know. It's an adhesive, like a glue. So here we have some ibuprofen. You know, if you're out there for hiking for a few hours, you're gonna have aches and pains. You take some of this, you'll be able to move more. Then the emergency survival blanket. It's a good reflector for signaling if you need help. Also, it's a reflector for heat, so when you get your fire going, you put this up behind you and at an angle, and you'll reflect that heat back down towards you. That's gonna help, you know, keep that cold in the desert from, you know, getting to your bones. It sounds really weird that the desert would be a cold place, but it really is. You know, it's very dry. It gets down to your bones. So you want to prevent that with, you know, the reflective surface. Then you have the bivy sack. So we're doubling and tripling up on certain things because they are very vital. You know, you'll burn less energy burn less calories trying to keep yourself warm if you have things to help. And then so a bandana wrapped in a shoelace, you come across some water out there, and there's stuff floating on the surface. So one thing you could do, toilet paper, I forgot that was in there, fire starter, or you can wipe your butt with it, obviously. But anyway, back to what I was saying. So you have the bandana, and then you go up to the water surface, you cover it, and then now you're not going to get twigs and all these other things. It's a filter for your water before you do the whole boiling process. So yeah, this is basically a small 24-hour, just a small bag, something you can take with you hiking or have inside your vehicle. It'd be even better if you're in your vehicle, because then you don't have to worry so much about shelter. That'd be a good shelter in itself. But anyway, thanks for watching. Like, comment, subscribe. If you guys have any questions, shoot them my way. Looking to improve the quality of these things and kind of give you guys different content to view. But anyway, thanks for watching. Survive.